Okay guys, good afternoon. Sana di na maputol na naman ulit ito. Uh, if you guys are watching from where you are, please put in the comments so we can at least give a shout out to you or where you are watching. Uh, Also, if at some point this broadcast will be interrupted, uh, I advise you to just go back to the page and click again because I'm having problem with broadcasting right now. My laptop is not that fast enough for this type of broadcast. So please just go back to the page and just click back again. I'm gonna be live until around 3 p.m. this afternoon. And our topic for today is color management for photographers. Why do you need to calibrate your monitors and more? So I'm also gonna be I'm also gonna be limiting the topic within that range. There's really so much to talk about color management for photographers, but I'll do that on the second in the part two. But right now, this is more of a conceptual reason why you want to do it, and what's the purpose, and what would benefit you. What will you benefit from rather by implementing color management in your workflow, especially for photographers, because this topic is for photographers. Okay, so si John Michael Gian, no audio, sorry. Wala siyang audio. Okay. What about the others? Can you hear my audio? Let me just check on this again. Can the others give me a feedback if you can hear an audio on my end? I mean, from your end, if you can hear an audio from your end. Sabi ni John Michael Gian, wala daw audio. So, if somebody can confirm, please let me know. Because in my sound level, it's there. Just don't know if it's, you know, reaching out to you guys. So, yeah. Where are you guys watching from? Just put a comment. Oh, according to Val, okay daw audio. Loud and clear according to Jay. Uh, John Michael Gian, please check your settings. I don't know, maybe you know these things. We are all new to this. I don't really know what's happening. So, same goes to Martin. Loud and clear. So, because, oh, Aris, Christian Angulo, hi. Because we don't have enough time, and also I'm going to be cutting this off by 3 p.m. I'm going to be joining another seminar. So, I'm not going to wait for the others. Yung mga late nag-tune in, you can always just check on the recordings later. Tsaka baka maputol again, guys. If this cuts off, just go back to my GRP Imaging Institute page, Digital Imaging Institute page, and then just go there and click again because I'm gonna be live until 3 p.m. All right. Uy, from Olonga po pala to si Aris. Kumusta po kayo dyan? Kanina, I posted something in FB. I said, kami mga photographers right now are jobless. Tumatanggap na po kami ng labada ngayon. So, PM lang po kung may papalaba kayo. Wala na po kayong mga trabaho. So, alright. Let me just close this. So, is color management something new to you, or is this the first time nyo narinig ang term na ito? Or have you been practicing color management And especially when you say color management, immediately iniisip ng mga tao, expensive, mahal, uh, uh, anong may tutulong nito sa workflow ko, anong advantages nito, the benefits that I'm gonna get, ano yung mga yun, no? So this is more of like a conceptual understanding of why do we need to do this, and what are the things that we should really put some emphasis on our workflow within the subject matter of color management. Also, if you have questions or anything, just feel free to put it in the comments. No, I'll try to cover them as much as I can. But like I've said, the limitation of the topic that I'm going to be covering is within monitors, and mga settings and all, maybe a little bit, but we still have a part two on this color management for photographers. No, I almost sobrang habaan naman, diba? So, uh, so with no further ado, let's start the presentation. Okay. So, often, tayo mga photographers, we work on laptop, on our desktop, and then lahat ng shots natin, we verify everything there in the uh, we verify everything there in our workstation, right? We check the color, we check the quality, we check sharpness, we check everything there in our monitor. So we're really very dependent on our workstation kasi we're checking the quality, no, everything, tama ba yung exposure, everything. We're medyo dark ba siya, medyo kulang ba sa saturation or what. So everything we're assessing it in our workstation after the shoot, right? So this is the photographer, and then this will be followed by the client. So pinadala mo na yung files mo doon kay client. Si client naman, chinek niya, sabi niya, okay, looks good to me. I find it nice, and we should already send this to the printer. Probably we make a billboard out of it, a banner or a window display, or maybe wall print, or menu, or whatever prints the client may need. So, pagkatapos ni client, papadala na niya ngayon kay printer, di ba? So si printer now gets the file, and then from the file, the printer goes, okay, let's print this and all. So printer says, right on time, deliver it to the client. Okay? So pagdating ngayon kay client, biglang ring yung telepono mo. Okay? That happened to me many occasions. Client suddenly calls me and says, oh, na-receive ko na yung prints coming from the printer. And it seems that may problema tayo. So, pag naririnig mo yun, kasi mo nakakit, naku, problema na ito. So, clients calls you and says there's a problem. It turned out that if you look at the screen right now, there's 3 different colors there. There's a color in your monitor that you believe is correct. And there's also a color there in your client that your client believes is correct. And then the print provider prints it the way the print provider thinks na tama yung lumabas, no? And then, but all the 3, the photographer, the client, and the print provider's version of the image are all totally different. Sabi ni Paolo, masakit daw sa ulo daw talaga yan. Oh, it's natural, masakit talaga sa ulo yan, no? But no worries, nandito ako para i-solve natin yung problema at para paano natin iiwasan yung ganong problema. So the client calls you, and like I said this a while back, ilang beses na nangyari sa akin yan, tinawagan ako ng client. Ewan ko bakit si photographer agad ang tatawagan ni client, or the graphic designer. Tatawagan ka agad ni client, sasabihin ka agad na, or there's something wrong with the file, it came out really wrong. So, how do you defend yourself pagdating sa ganong mga cases, no? This is where color management comes in. Okay? So, 3 kulay, iba-iba. Iba yung sa'yo, iba yung sa client, iba din sa printer. So, let's just move on muna, and I'll discuss further. So, another problem with color management is that diba, we work on our laptop. Most of the photographers I know really work, maybe 80% of the photographers I know work on their laptop. So when they go back to their studio or their homes, they have this bigger second monitor kinakabit nila. Para so that mas lumaki yung, mas lumaki yung working area, di ba? So, from there on, ikakabit mo na yung second monitor mo. Yung monitor mo na second, iba yung kulay niya dun sa laptop mo. Tanong, sino ang tama? Yung second monitor ba or yung laptop monitor mo? So that's a big question. So sometimes you would say, based on experience, mas malapit yung second monitor ko eh. So I'm just gonna go and make sure that I check all my colors in my second monitor. And may kilala din ako, what they do is, they send it to their phone and doon nila check yung kulay sa phone. Kung tama dun sa phone nila, tama sa lahat yan. So unfortunately, lahat yung mga ginawa na yun, mali yun. Okay? So, that's another problem. And another problem again is, in your display right now, I said there's photo editor and client in London or overseas ang client mo. So, you're editing for a client. Nag-edit ka ng picture. Tapos pinadala mo na sa kanila. So, sabihin ngayon ni London, the colors are different from what we expected it to be. It's a little bit, pale and greenish. There's a greenish cast. Tapos nung tingin mo sa monitor mo, wala namang greenish na cast. Wala din naman siya pale. So, ang malaking tanong na naman ulit, si client ba na nandun sa London, tama ba ang kulay niya? Or ikaw ba na nasa desktop mo, ikaw ba ang may tama na kulay? So, there's always this ambiguity whether sino ang tama, no? Ambiguous masyado siya. So, hindi natin alam kung we don't know if whether the client has a color problem or ikaw ang may color problem, di ba? So, on those cases, the only way to protect yourself and to make sure that your workflow is foolproof is to calibrate your monitor, right? So, pag sinabi natin i-calibrate ang monitor natin, hindi yun siya software na iraran mo tapos tatakbo ng sarili niya. Tapos tama na yung kulay na lalabas, no? Just checking the comments kung may mga tanong kayo. Please. Oh, Milky. Kahit pandesal. Tumatanggap na kami ng labada dito, Milky. No? Padala namin dyan sa Norway. So, hindi natin alam kung sino ang tama. Ikaw ba? Yung client ba? O yung printer ba ang tama? So, to protect yourself and to make sure that your workflow is foolproof, calibrate your monitors. Like I've said, hindi siya software na tumatakbo. Hardware ang kailangan to calibrate your monitors. It's a small hardware. There's a lot of choices that you can get. Spider is one. Another is i1 Display is another. i1 Display is more expensive, but a little bit more accurate than Spider. But Spider will work. Now, problems with Spider is that they did not, my friend Mikel told me na the Spider Elite 5 can still be updated to be 64-bit. Kasi kung naka-Mac ka ngayon, nakakatalina ka na, 64-bit na lahat. So, all your Spider 4 won't work anymore. So, but i1 Display works with 64-bit. So, whether Spider ba binili mo na Elite 5 or i1 Display, hardware yan siya that allows you to calibrate your monitor. Bakit kailangan siya hardware? Kasi titignan niya kung anong output ng monitor mo. Kasi kung ikaw lang titingin kung tama ba yung monitor mo, hindi. Medyo bias ka eh. Sometimes may mga taong medyo tingin nila medyo dark or warm or cold yung monitor nila and then they adjust it. Yung hardware kasi, walang biases yun. Everything is digital. Everything is accurate, no? So whether Spider or i1 Display or sometimes if kung medyo marami kang pera, pwede ka mag spectrophotometer na talaga gamitin mo, no? i1 Pro 2 or i1 Pro 3, which is about, I think right now around 80,000 pesos. So expensive. Spider is just, I think 15. i1 Display is around 22, something like that. It's a hardware. Now, in fact, pwede nga makishare ka eh. pwede nga kung grupo kayo, maghati-hati kayo eh, di ba? So, calibrate your monitor. Like a group, probably a photography club would buy a monitor calibrator, and all you have to do is calibrate your monitor once a month. That's it. Di naman kayo kailangan sabay-sabay eh. Araw-araw kayo mag-calibrate, di ba? So, maybe if you're a member of a group and then 30 kayo, then, then you can actually borrow it for that day, and then next month ulit, calibrate ka na naman ulit. Kasi hindi mo kailangan araw-araw mag-calibrate, di ba? So, dito pala yung kaibigan natin, si Darwin. So, kailangan tayo mag-calibrate ng monitor. Kasi nga, pinakita ko yung mga different cases kanina, di ba? Si client tumawag, sakit nga ulo, di ba? Sabi, iba kulay lumabas. So, if your monitor is calibrated, properly calibrated, and then the client says, iba kulay dito sa akin, natural, sino ang may tamang kulay na monitor? Yung client na hindi nag-calibrate, yung printer na hindi nag-calibrate, or ikaw, photographer, nag-calibrate? The story that I mentioned to you a while back, nangyari sa akin yun, nung tumawag, sinabi may color problem. Hindi na ako kinabahan. Alam ko kasi tama yung kulay ko eh, kasi I was calibrating my monitor. So, the client, what the client did was, dinala ako doon sa printing press at sinabi, ito yung photographer, ito yung nag-shoot niyan, siya nag-edit niyan. Sabi, according to the printer, iba daw yung kulay lumabas. So, ang first ko tinanong sa printer, sabi ko, calibrated ba yung mga monitors ninyo? Okay. Siyempre, hindi ko alam, gumawa siguro ng story, sabi, calibrated daw. Of course, ang next ko because I am an Adobe certified expert, and I'm also a color management master of Idea Alliance. So, I'm not bragging it, but when I went there, I said, so how is your color management here in your press? Sabi, meron daw. So, when I started asking the details, wala na sila masagot. Mali-mali na yung sinagot nila. So, sabi ko, you see, my monitor here is calibrated. Sabi ko, tama ang kulay ko. So, pag mali lumabas dyan, most probably, nasa inyo yung problema. Wala sa akin. So, from there on, tapos na yung problema. Hindi na ako yung naging problema doon. Hindi na ako yung problema kung tama ba yung kulay ko. Hindi. It was their problem already. So, that's how color management works. Kaya meron tayong standards. That's why we need to put our monitors on standards. Kasi para tama ang kulay mo. Walang maraming diskusyon pa. Kasi tama naman ang kulay mo eh. So, wala nang issue doon. Even if magka-problema ka man between clients, si client claims na, when we were shooting in your studio, you were tethering your monitor, the color was great, pero pagdating dito sa amin sa office, the color is a little bit off. Question again, nag-calibrate ba si client or hindi? So pag dumating na dun sa tanong, at sinabi nilang hindi, at ikaw nag-calibrate ka, wala nang discussion, wala nang marami pang usapan dun. Ang tamang kulay ay sa'yo kasi nag-calibrate ka. Okay? If ever, technically speaking, nag-calibrate din sila kasi iba kulay, that's another matter. Siguro may mga troubleshooting issues there na kailangan hanapin. Maybe hindi properly done yung pag-calibrate mo ng monitor mo or pag-calibrate ni client ng monitor niya. So, but, case to case. First is, dapat calibrated monitor mo. Si Mark Cord is watching from Cebu. Kumusta mo diha, bay? Kumusta na yung taon tong nagtapok dito nga na-infected sa Barangay Los? So, as long as yung monitor mo calibrated, safe ka. Okay? Now, here's another thing. Ang tanong, ano ba ang monitor na ginagamit mo? No? So, let me go back first. Bago ako dito sa slide na to, let me come back here. Another analogy would be, how much do you spend for your camera? You spend maybe, especially, may mga kilala kong hobbyist na who spends really a lot. Like, maybe they spend around 300,000 for their body. Dalawa pa yon, backup yung isa. So, 600,000? Lenses would probably range about 600,000 worth of lenses. It's about 1.2, 1.3 million worth of equipments. And then, after you do that, after all the high-tech measures that the manufacturer put into those equipments and all, and then you put your your file, no, the file that was created out of that 1.2 million worth of investment na camera. Then you start viewing that in your monitor. Tapos yung monitor mo hindi calibrated. So medyo off, di ba? Kasi you spent so much on the equipments. Pero when you were viewing and assessing your work in your monitor, hindi calibrated monitor mo. So it means that you are not looking at the right color. So, di ba? So, ang laki ng investment mo sa equipments mo. Ang laki ng investment mo in terms of experience and all. Tapos, dun ka lang sumabit sa monitor mo. You're not looking at the right color. The exposure and all, everything cannot be properly checked because hindi natin alam yung brightness ng monitor mo masyado mataas or masyado mababa. Kasi sa calibration, sineset yun ng hardware kung gano'n dapat kalakas yung brightness. Sineset niya yung contrast, sineset niya yung color balance, lahat. Tapos ginagawa niya ng color profile. So, when you look at an image, kung properly exposed ba siya or hindi from your monitor, na-calibrated, you're gonna get the right information. Pero kung yung monitor mo, masyado mataas yung brightness, tapos linagay mo yung photo mo na underexposed, magmumukhang properly exposed yun. So what's the right brightness? When you calibrate through that hardware, the brightness, the contrast, the color balance are all measured there. And sasabihin sa'yo ng hardware, taas mo yung brightness, baba mo yung brightness, sasabihin ni hardware na, oh, that's good already. So, ganun ka-importante si monitor calibration. Okay? So, let's move on. Sabi ni Don, are there differences between different calibration tools? Of course, yes, meron. Ang calibration hardware kasi, colorimeter yan siya. Hindi yan siya spectrophotometer. Kasi 3 stimulus lang kailangan ng monitor to be calibrated. Hindi niya kailangan ng spectrophotometer. Pero, if you're going to compare between Spider and i1 display, tapos meron akong very expensive na maybe maybe ISO or probably Asus na ProArt. 150,000 worth na monitor. Hindi ako gagamit ng Spider kasi mas accurate si i1 display and I need more accuracy for my more expensive monitor. Pero if you have the monitor na nag-range between 30 or maybe 20 to 30,000 or 30 to 40,000 na monitor, Spider can do that. In fact, it wouldn't even make a difference between Spider or i1 display pag kinalibrate mo ganung monitor. Pero pag yung mga 10-bit high-end na mga monitor, 100% ARGB na mga monitor, I'd go for the more expensive one. In fact, I think si Asus yata na ProArt, the expensive models that they have, may kasama ng color calibrator. Hindi embedded, but it's part of the package. So yeah, there's a difference. And kung gusto mo mas accurate pa rin, gamitan mo na ng spectrophotometer, i1 Pro. May mga taong really concerned about that color. They use a spectrophotometer. Although, kaya na ng colorimeter, pero mas accurate pa rin si spectrophotometer. Pero in our level, kasi medyo maarte ako sa kulay, so I probably want to go with i1 display. Okay. So, to continue, maraming nagsasabi na, yung computer ko is an iMac, or probably an ISO na very expensive monitor. Or you had one of the Asus ProArt or the BenQ or the Dell Ultrasharp, medyo expensive, 50,000 up yung monitor mo. And then you would think na hindi na kailangan i-calibrate to. Hindi. Lahat ng monitor kailangan i-calibrate. You probably say, hindi, pagdating, ganda na ng kulay. Totoo. Maganda talaga kulay niyan pagdating. Why? Because most of the expensive na mga monitors are factory calibrated. Meaning, bago lumabas sa planta yan, dumaan yan ng calibration. Yung mga medyo mumurahin na mga monitor, hindi dumaan ng factory calibration yan. So, pagdating sa'yo, medyo off yung kulay niyan. Pero yung mga mamahalin, natural, nagbayad ka naman yung 50 mil and up, di ba? So, at least i-factory calibrate naman nila yung product bago ipadala sa'yo. Kaya most of this product, the iMac, your laptop, your Mac, and the rest of the expensive na mga display, they are pre-calibrated dun sa planta pa lang. Kaya pagdating sa'yo, tama. Unfortunately, nagbabago ang kulay niyan a certain period of time. Siguro kung bagong-bago, 3 months bago mag-change ang kulay. Pag 1 year old na, every month na yan, mag-change ang kulay niya. So dapat every month, chine-check mo na at kinakalibrate mo na siya lagi. So it's not true na hindi kailangan i-calibrate ang monitor, especially those expensive ones. Lahat ng monitor kailangan i-calibrate. No monitor na hindi there's a monitor na hindi mo kailangan i-calibrate. I saw one monitor one time in an exhibit. Hindi mo na siya kailangan i-calibrate kasi meron siyang mechanical na head na lumalabas, bumababa siya, kina-calibrate yung sarili niya. But still, it's a hardware that goes out and calibrates itself. So yun, hindi mo na kailangan i-calibrate yun kasi mag-calibrate na siya mag-isa niya. So, what to consider when buying monitor? First things first is, not all monitors are created equal. Okay? Hindi lahat ng monitor maganda. Of course, kaya nga may mga prices, diba? Iba-iba. Ang problema, may mga mahal na monitor tapos mali naman yung specs. I mean, parang nalugi ka pa, diba? So, pag bibili ka ng monitor, it's important for you to, this is within the range of photography, ha? Hindi ito siya for video and for gaming. Ito ang pinag-uusapan natin, photography. If you're gonna use the monitor for photography, ito yung mga areas that I think you should consider when buying. Number 1, best is a 10-bit display. Most of the monitors are 8-bit display. Yung mga ginagamit dun sa accounting, ginagamit dun sa kung iba-ibang like probably programming, ganun. Kailangan din ng monitor, di ba? For CCTV, kailangan din monitor yun. So, most of them are 8-bit. But yung mga 8-bit, iba-ibang level yun. No? Hindi ibig sabihin lahat ng 8-bit pangit. May mga 8-bit na maganda rin. Pero kung gusto mo ng the colors that can cover an sRGB, at least, no, it has to be a 10-bit monitor. Kasi an 8-bit monitor cannot cover an sRGB. But a 10-bit monitor, iba-iba pa rin level ng 10-bit. May 10 na naka-reach ng 100% ARGB. And meron ding na mimit lang niya is 97% ARGB. So, pero walang 8-bit na makakamit ng 100% sRGB. 10 talaga yan. So, first thing you probably want to ask when choosing between different brands, you would say, oh, sino ba dito ang mga 10-bit among the different brands na pinagpipilian ko? So, and often, nakatago kasi yung mga information na yan eh. Pag tinatago, it means na mababa yan. Pag pinapakita, meaning mataas yan. So, look for a 10-bit. If you want quality monitors. Kung di naman afford, okay lang at 8-bit. Pero tignan mo, anong percent ang kaya niyang i-reach sa sRGB. Okay? Maybe 98 or 95% sRGB. Okay na yun. At least mataas. Di ba? So, that's one. Guys, if you have questions, feel free to throw your questions dito sa comment. Baka may mga tanong pa kayo dyan. Okay pa ba kayo dyan? Live pa ba ako? Live pa naman. So, another is, kailangan IPS. Oh, teka. Kit is here. That's true with most of the brands. The ones who don't present. Okay, the one who don't present, sabi ni Kit, clearly, tinatago nila yung specs na yun. Of course. Kasi kung 10-bit ka nga naman, hindi display mo talaga yun sa box, di ba? And brochure and all. So going back. So, first is 10-bit bit depth ng monitor is 10. If it's 8, at least 95 or more coverage ng sRGB. Next one is IPS. Wala siyang option. Kailangan IPS talaga. Hindi pwedeng hindi IPS. Bakit ano pala yung IPS? What's an IPS? IPS is an interplane switching panel. Interplane meaning yung coverage ng angle niya, I'm not sure with the degree, but I think it's around 170 degrees. But the easier explanation is, mas wider yung angles niya. It means na, kunwari, ikaw, tumitingin ka sa monitor mo, biglang nag-slouch ka konti. nagbago na yung angle of view mo to the monitor, di ba? O kaya tumayo ka konti or tinas mo yung shoulder mo or gumilid ka konti. Hindi magbabago kulay nun kung IPS yun. Kung hindi IPS yun, nag-slouch ka lang konti, biglang nag-lighter yun. So yung shadow light, so you darken it. Tapos when you move, biglang iba na naman kulay, iba na naman, medyo madilim, medyo maliwanag. And this angle here, medyo mapula siya. At this angle here, medyo yellowish siya. IPS ang tawag sa monitor na yun. Used to be, ang IPS is so expensive. Now, luman na yung mga TV nga na may mga IPS na di ba? So, mura na lang ang IPS ngayon, but it's a specification that you really want to make sure na nakaset, na meron dun sa monitor mo, na IPS siya. Sabi ni Aying, bakit daw importante yung color management sa mga photographers? Sinabi ko na kanina yun sa umpisa. Balikan ko lang konti, dun sa mga late na dumating. So, sabi ko sa umpisa, sinut mo, okay kulay. Binigay mo sa client, okay kulay. Print ni client at dineliver kay client, sabihin ka ni client, tawag ka agad sa'yo. Oy, photographer, ikaw nag-edit nito, di ba? Kasama sa package mo yung editing nito, di ba? Iba yung kulay lumabas dun sa press. Ang unang pagbibintangan agad is si nag-prepare ng file, which is photographer. Tapos sasabihin ka agad the assumption is always who prepared the file, siya yung mali. So, hindi i-blame si printer, hindi i-blame si artist dun sa client, hindi, ikaw na nag-prepare sa file. So, many times nangyari sa akin yun. So, yeah. If your monitor is calibrated, wala nang marami pang discussion. If calibrated the monitor mo, you're looking at the right color. Okay? And then, if the others did not calibrate, that's not your problem anymore. Yours is calibrated. No? So, kaya importante yun. An example ko kanina is that yung client mo na sa ibang bansa, you're offering photo editing services. And then si client sa ibang bansa sabi, it's a little bit reddish or greenish or medyo dark ang dito sa amin yung result. Can you adjust it? The answer is, no, it's not greenish or reddish in my monitor. My monitor is calibrated. So most probably, you should calibrate your monitor first. So, ikaw pa rin, tama kasi nag-calibrate kayo. It's a standard. You need to be within that standard so that everybody will try to go into that standard. So, yun ang problema kasi. Sabihin, ayoko mag-color management kasi iba naman di nagpa-color management. Well, pag di nag-calibrate, nag-color management yung iba at nagkaroon ng argument whether sino yung may tama na hulay, who's to blame, well, it's an easy answer. Of course, not you kasi nag-calibrate ka ng monitor mo. Diba? So, but also, it has to be properly done and with the right monitor. Ito na yun, nasa level na tayo ngayon ng what's the right monitor. So, IPS, interplane switching, ang ibig sabihin ng IPS. Okay? So, if you have questions, feel free to throw your questions. Next is resolution. Kailangan ba natin ng 4K to get the right color? No, we don't. Well, it would be nice kung naka 4K ka. Ang maganda lang naman talaga sa 4K, si 4K doesn't add to the color. Si 4K adds to the crisp, the sharpness of the image. So, kunwari, malaki yung monitor mo, like 27-inch or 32-inch yung monitor mo. No? Pag naka-HD ka kasi, 1920 ba yun? 1080 by 1920. So, masyadong konti yung pixel density kasi sobrang laki ng monitor mo, nawawala yung level of sharpness. So, kung mas malaki ang monitor mo, it would benefit kung 4K siya kasi mas marami siyang pixels, so the pixel density increases. But in terms of color, no, it won't affect color if it's an HD or if it's a 2K or a 4K monitor. Hindi nagbabago kulay nun. Ang difference lang is quality. Pag malaki na yung monitor mo, you really want to go 2K or 4K kasi yung details mas maganda. Pero in terms of color na pinaproject sa'yo, parehas lang yun, HD, 2K, 4K. Sabi ni Darwin, si ISO daw is still considered as the most accurate monitor in the market today. I would agree. Sila din ang pinakamahal. They're really accurate, but even ISO needs to be calibrated. And believe me, yung mga monitor na yan, pag binili mo, pagbukas mo sa loob yan, may kasamang monitor calibrator yan. It's either It's either an X-Rite calibrator or what's this other calibrator? I forgot. There's another one. So, yan yung mga nakalagay dyan. So, may mga kasamang calibrator na yan. So, although they're really accurate, they still need to be calibrated. So, resolution doesn't affect color. It affects the quality of the details. The bigger the monitor, the better if you get the higher resolution. Kasi nga, sobrang laki na niya. Yung mga contrast ratio ba, refresh rate, response time, may epekto ba yun sa photography natin in terms of views sa monitor? Not so much. We only need at least 1:800 in terms of contrast ratio. Meron nga dyan, 1:10,000, di ba? So, we really don't need that really high. Mga 1:800, okay na yun eh. Anything more than that, okay pa din, but basta hindi lang bababa ng 800. Refresh rate, mostly sila video at saka sila mga gaming. They're the ones kasi, especially sila mga video na mga 4K na mga video, tapos matataas yung yung recording niya, maybe 120 frames siya. So kung 120 frames, dapat mas mataas-taas yung refresh rate na kailangan na monitor, which we don't really need. Response time, a lot for video and gaming as well, but not so much in photography. Like I said, I'm limiting the topic within photography only in terms of color management. Okay? So, if you have any questions, let me know. Kumusta ba? Are you guys using a 10-bit monitor? Or are you guys calibrating your monitor? How many times do you calibrate your monitor? And most of the experience that I get after you calibrate your monitor, nagiging a little bit warm siya. And then you feel like, oh, parang mali yata to, medyo warm lumabas after calibration din. Ayun ang tamang kulay. It's just ikaw, nasanay ka na medyo cool na yung kulay ng monitor mo for a while, tapos nag-adapt na rin yung mata mo, akala mo yun yung tama. After calibration, often, nafe-feel mo parang nagwa-warm konti yung monitor. Hindi, yun ang tamang kulay. Ikaw lang ang hindi nasanay. Kasi yung monitor calibrator mo, walang biases yun. E tayo, meron tayong biases because there's a lot of different colors that surrounds us. And especially pag nasanay tayo sa isang kulay, akala natin tama na yung kulay na yun. No? So, let me know if you have any questions so far. So, that's the end of my slides. No? So, feel free to ask questions. Maybe you wanna ask what's the difference between, hindi ko kasi sinama, kasi sabi ko nga gusto ko i-limit, no? I don't wanna hold you for more than an hour. No? So, maybe you wanna ask what's the difference between sRGB and ARGB. And you know in your camera, may mga settings doon na ARGB at saka sRGB. Ano bang dapat na setting doon sa camera? Well, number one, if you're shooting RAW, ARGB and sRGB has no say to whatever settings na nakalagay doon. Kung wala naka-ARGB ka, tapos nakashoot ka ng RAW, walang difference yun. Kasi hindi mo nag-a-apply ang color profile na yun sa RAW. Kasi RAW is RAW, wala siyang color profile. Unless if you're shooting JPEG and RAW, JPEG will then mako-convert ngayon from camera profile, mako-convert siya to sRGB JPEG or mako-convert siya camera profile to ARGB JPEG. So, si JPEG lang ang maapektuhan ng ARGB at saka sRGB. Pero si RAW, hindi. Walang profile si RAW kasi RAW pa siya eh. Lalagyan mo pa siya ng profile, di ba? So only JPEGs in your camera are affected by the settings. So, maski naka-sRGB ka and then you're shooting RAW, walang effect yun. Di ba? Uy, ang master nandito. Roland Banyes. We'll be checking it mamaya kung ano depth specs ng monitor. Yeah, you need to check on that. But don't worry, kung 8-bit man yung monitor nyo, hindi ibig sabihin mali na yun. May mga 8-bit na 95% sRGB. No? So maganda na yun. Kung talagang mababa yung sRGB niya, mas maganda pa rin na i-calibrate mo. At mag-ipon-ipon ka na para sa bumili ka ng bagong monitor. But nakakalibrate pa rin. Maski yung pinakamurang monitor, nakakalibrate pa rin. Hindi lang siya ganun kataas yung vibrance ng color na kaya niyang i-produce. Pero I'd rather use a monitor na cheap, na calibrated, than a very expensive monitor na hindi calibrated. No? So, get the point. I'd rather use a cheap monitor na calibrated than an expensive one na hindi calibrated. So, don't worry if your monitor is hindi ganun kataas ang specs. Kung calibrated man siya, at least calibrated siya, then it's gonna show you the right colors. Hindi ka niya ililigaw. So, tama yung kulay. Hindi niya lang kayang i-produce yung mga vibrant colors na outside na sa color space niya. Pero, those that within sa color space niya, tama yung kulay na yun. So, sabi ni Keith, would a 10-bit monitor require a special video card to work? Hindi kailangan. Hindi niya kailangan ng special na video card. Any video card will do. Hindi kasi tayo masyado dependent on video card. I'm saying within the photographer range. Kasi sa video card natin na set, ang pinaka-important na function lang ng video card sa atin as photographers is yung lookup table niya. Makaka-store siya ng lookup table where the profile will be loaded. And most of the video card naman nakaka-perform nun. Problema lang, pag medyo high specs yung monitor mo, sometimes masyadong maraming information ang tinatapon sa kanya, nalulunod si video card. So maybe a faster video card would do just to help in throwing the information, but we really don't need a high specs na video card for that. So, sir, are MacBooks Macs calibrated out of the box? Yes. Paglabas niyan sa planta, kinalibrate na yan dun. So, pagtanggap mo, you'd be happy to see it na ang color niya maganda. So, pwede ka hindi mag-calibrate muna. Pero kung meron ka namang sarili mo calibrator, calibrate mo na rin kasi malay mo, hindi natin alam kung nagkamali pag-calibrate yun doon, di ba? So, but out of the box, it's pre-calibrated. No? Kaya sabi lang, ganda ng Mac, pagbukas mo, ganda na kagad ng kulay. Well, it's pre-calibrated. No? So, but still, maski pre-calibrated siya, maybe 3 months after or 2 months after, calibrate it. Kung kaya mo naman, pagpadating niya, calibrate mo na kagad. Huwag mo na hintayin pa. So, what else? Sabi ni Roland, August na daw magkikita. Mukhang, Graphic Expo kasi is now moved to August. Tsaka hindi pa rin natin alam kung talagang matutuloy sa August. Uy, Darwin. Gusto daw niya. Of course, ito mga tao ito yung mga ang tatagal na nito sa graphics industry. Ang dami ng pinagdaanan ito na Darwin. Ang dami yung pwede ma-contribute nito. Sige, next time, bro. Hanapin natin paraan na maka-contribute ka. Kasi singtanda na kami ng mga to sa industriya. So yeah, matatagal na kami sa industriya. Just for everybody's information, I started out as a graphic designer. I stayed in publishing for 15 years before I decided to focus on photography. So galing ako ng graphic design. So I also I took a certificate course sa ID Alliance. I passed the color management master under ID Alliance. I also took an examination sa Adobe, kaya Adobe Certified Expert din ako. Pero yung mga yun, certificate lang yun eh. Ang mas mabigat doon, yung mga pinagdaanan namin na 15 years sa graphics, sa sakit ng ulo, sa lahat ng dami ng problema sa graphics. Yun, pinagdaanan namin lahat yun. So, yung mga certificates, lang yun eh. Papel lang yun. Yung totoo, yung ilang taon mong inintindi yung graphics. Mag-iipon na daw si Rain. O nga, mag-ipon ka na. Huwag ka muna mag-enroll na kung ano-ano dyan. Pili mo muna ng bago mong monitor. Sabi ni Aying, sabi niya, Why doesn't my print match my display? Unsay blima na even if calibrated ang monitor. Well, if your monitor is calibrated, good. Kasi the first step is correct. Calibrated na yung monitor eh. So, tama na yung kulay. Pag hindi nagmamatch yun sa printer, most probably, sorry, outside sa photography na to ah. So, if it's not calibrated, if your monitor is calibrated, then good. If your printer is not calibrated, then that's where the problem is. Kasi, ang calibration ng printer should be coursed through sa RIP niya, yung RIP software niya. Yung RIP software niya, RIP is a raster image processor. It can be a hardware, it can be a software na nagpapatakbo ng printer mo. And even those photographers who owns a Canon ng mga printers or an Epson ng mga printers, kailangan pa rin i-calibrate yun. Hindi magwa 100% yun. Kasi you spend a lot of time editing and sometimes ginalaw mo si curves ng 2% lang kasi feel mo parang kulang pa siya. So ginalaw mo si curves ng 2%, tapos yung tint ginalaw mo ng 1.5%. Ganun ka-accurate sa monitor mo. Tapos pagdating dun sa print mo, it wouldn't matter kasi yung maliliit na mga adjustments mo, hindi lalabas ng tama kasi hindi calibrated yung printer mo. So, the printer has a different method of calibration. Si monitor, tapat mo lang yung monitor calibrator mo dun sa kanya, let it run. I think a large calibration is about 40 minutes. Pag small na calibration is about 5 minutes. So, I normally go with the 40 minutes kasi gusto ko accurate. So, with the printer naman, iba naman ang paraan niya pag-calibrate. Magpiprint siya ng mga different color patches and then babasahin siya ng spectrophotometer. Hindi na kailangan colorimeter dito, spectro na dapat. Spectrophotometer ibabasa sa kanya. And then once nabasa na niya spectrophotometer and all, an ICC profile will be created. And this ICC profile will be placed dun sa raster image processor, which is the RIP. And some of the mga Canon, Epson, may mga RIP din yan. Dun mo ilalagay. Tapos pag nalagay mo na dun, nagkakaroon na dun ng color conversion every time you send a print. Then magmamatch yung printer mo at saka yung monitor mo. Ang hindi naman siya mahirap gawin. Ang mahirap lang, iba-iba kasing RIP, iba-iba yung approach, iba-iba settings niya. Sometimes kasi, especially yung mga China na mga RIP, minsan magugulo yung mga settings ng mga yan eh. May mga checkboxes dyan na dapat hindi naka-check. So it's really about analyzing the RIP. That can work both for photographer who prints their images on desktop and those who print for large format printers. So, good ba ang Asus laptop sa color? Hindi ko alam kung, depende sa specs. If the display of that Asus na laptop is a 10-bit, that'll be good. And then, check mo kung anong coverage niya sa sRGB. 100% ba? 95 ba? 97 ba? So, yung mga sinabi ko kanina, IPS, tapos coverage niya sa sRGB, ilang bit depth niya, yun lang basis nun. So, just look at the specs kung anong setting dun. So, sabi niya yung thank you daw. No worries. So, yun. So, kung kunwari, you're the type of photographer who prints your own images, photographs, your printer needs to be calibrated. Pero, pwede na yun, yung binibili mo ng papel, may kasamang profile yun dun sa driver ng printer na binili mo. That can already work, no? In fact, that works perfectly fine. But if you want accuracy in terms of color, and if you want your printer to show you more vibrant na mga colors, then you need to make an ICC on each and every paper that you use on your printer, no? Call me. I can help you calibrate your printers, no? I do that services. I do color management services. But often, yung mga client ko kasi mga malalaking those really, really, really big printing companies. Sila yung mga client ko sa color management. But if you're a desktop type printer and you need help, call me. I'll try to see how I can help. No, but this, yeah, but so well, in this type of like yung mga desktop printers na mga high-end from Epson, from Canon, Darwin pala is from Epson. Dito pala yung Si Darwin yan. Yan, mga superhuman ng ano yan, superhuman ng Epson sila Darwin. So, if you have an Epson desktop printer, wala siyang RIP. Photoshop actually acts as your RIP. And si Photoshop nakakatanggap din ng ICC profile ng mga paper na ginamit mo. So, maski wala kang RIP, Photoshop can do that for you. Okay? So, sabi ni Aying, papatulong daw siya sa large format niya. Paano? Nandito tayo sa Manila ngayon. So, anyway, it's 2:50. And I said, I'm not gonna hold on to you guys for more than an hour. So, kung may mga tanong pa kayo for your print or your monitor, yun na nga, check lang yung specs ng monitor niyo talaga. Tapos, calibrate once a month, no? Minsan nakakalimutan natin, okay lang naman, like after 2 months mo na-calibrate, pero at least na-calibrate mo lang siya ulit, no? Kasi ang confusion dyan, ayaw mong magkaroon ng confusion kung whether sino ba may tamang kulay, ako or yung client ko o yung printer. O yung client ko dun sa nasa ibang bansa. Sino sa amin ang tama? So, if you are within that standard, yung monitor mo is calibrated, you are in the right position, no? Kaya kailangan mag-calibrate ng monitor. Kasi, imagine, no, you went out of your way to take that beautiful landscape. Ang ganda ng kulay, ang ganda ng shot. Then you go to your monitor, kinabit mo yung card, view mo yung image, sabi mo, why is it a little bit different from what I've experienced when I was shooting? Doon sa LCD ng camera ko, parang iba yung kulay dito. Then you start editing, you spend 2, 3 hours, 4 hours editing the image, only to find out that you're looking at the wrong color. No? I mean, what a waste of effort, what a waste of investment, what a waste of talent, you know? Tapos you're looking at the wrong color pala. Diba? You're looking at a totally different color. And because that is what's being displayed by your motor, then you would react to that color, reddish, adjust ka konti. Pero di mo pala alam yung monitor mo is showing you a different color. So you want to make sure that your monitors are calibrated. It's as the same as when you're shooting, you make sure that everything is properly exposed. You check on the histogram. You check a lot of different settings in your camera. Ganon din yun. When you start viewing your photos, you also want to make sure that you're viewing it right. Okay. I have another, konti idadagdag. You know those color passport that you can buy? Sinasabi nila is good for photographers because it creates a profile for your camera. Totoo yun. But the question is, when do you use it? No? You don't use those, although I'm planning to put this in my part 2, but just a little bit of info. You don't use those color passports for portraits or for other purpose. Kasi subjective ang kulay sa photography. Depende kung anong feel mo, anong gusto mong kulay lumabas. Pero ang something that is not subjective in photography is product photography. When you shoot product, you need that color passport. Kasi pag lumabas na yung image na yan dun sa e-commerce, and medyo violet yan dun, pero ang totoong kulay niya is a little bit, bluish siya, hindi siya violet. Less magenta siya. So, then people would expect na the product is a little bit violet. Then pag-deliver sa kanila, iba kulay. So, there's a color accuracy there that is involved. Or you're shooting catalogs. Yung mga damit na ginagamit dun sa Zalora or Lazada, Shopee. Yung mga damit na binibenta dun. When you shoot it, you need a color passport because you want to make sure na accurate yung nakuha mo na kulay dun sa damit na binibenta. So, tama dapat yun pagdating dun sa e-commerce ng mga websites. That's when you need those color passport. You don't need that when you're shooting portraits. Maybe you need that yung gray card niya na part, but you don't need color calibration when you're shooting portraits, when you're shooting fashion, or maybe for catalogs and all, to make sure that accurate yung mga kulay. Product, lipstick, mga makeup. Pag sinushoot mo yun, kailangan mo ng color passport. When there's accuracy that's needed for commercial purposes, then you need yung color passport. So, kung wala na kayong tanong, I'm almost done. So, shout out dun sa mga taong nag-view and salamat hindi naghang yung software ko this time. Sana ganito na lang lagi. So, I'm gonna be doing a part 2 of this, but this time, pag-usapan na natin yung mga Photoshop settings, yung mga pag-usapan natin, paano ba galing sa camera raw, ano gagamitin ko, Pro Photo ba gagamitin ko, kung galing akong Lightroom, papunta akong Photoshop, ano ba gagamitin ko, TIFF 8-bit ba, TIFF 16-bit ba, ano bang gagamitin ko ng mga settings. Kasi ito naman na part, preserving colors. How do you take care of your files na hindi siya madadamage jumping from Capture One to Photoshop or from Bridge Camera to Photoshop and then Photoshop back to your Lightroom. All those things, more of like how to preserve your colors, how to preserve the quality of your images. So, yan yung gagawin natin sa part 2, yung doon naman sa nitty-gritty part ng color management. Hindi tayo mag-usap ng photo editing. It's really just a matter of how to handle your files na hindi siya masisira pagdating dun sa dulo. Na pag ipiprint mo na siya, optimum quality pa rin siya. So, yun ang pag-uusapan natin next week. Alright? So, kung wala na kayong mga tanong, guys, thank you so much for spending your hour with my live broadcast. Bisitahin nyo naman ako dun sa sa Instagram ko, Albert Pedrosa PH. So, and kasi I put more photos in Instagram. So, okay guys, stay safe. Matagal-tagal pa po ito, may 15 pa tayo makakalabas, no? So, tsaka ang daming topic na pinag-uusapan ngayon. Si photographer wala nang trabaho. So, right now, let's just be hopeful. This too will end. And sometimes too much worrying is really just, gonna stress you out. You have to think a little bit more on the positive side this time around. Sabi ko nga, I'm done overthinking. I'm positive vibes now. All right, cool. So, see you around.